Getting started. Okay. So, welcome to the new series I just launched today, Unlock Your Power to Prosper. The live stream is going on in my school, Toyin Umesiri Academy. The replays would only be available there as well. So, this is a deeper dive, and this is a challenge, right? So, greetings, good morning, Happy New Year again. So the first thing on this series is that many people are working really, really hard on surviving, and they are not working really, really hard on prospering. That's the first thing. Unlock your power to prosper. Many people, most people in the world are holding on tight to survival. They're working really hard every single day to survive, to hold on, right? To barely make it. But most people need to switch to working hard to prosper. Okay? And it starts with vision. What vision do you have for your life? What vision do you have about tomorrow? Do you have clarity in terms of the life you want? The reason this is important, this self-reflection is important, is that if you don't know what you're working for, if you do not have clarity in terms of why you're making sacrifices, then tomorrow looks like today. Okay? If tomorrow is not going to look like today, if you want something different, something has to change. You have to change something. Right? If today doesn't look different than yesterday, it means you've not changed. If what you're working on today is the same thing you were working on last year, it means you've not grown. You're not accelerating into a better tomorrow, into a better future. Unlocking your power to prosper starts with your mind. What are you seeing for yourself? What belongs to you, and your willingness to believe it and to pursue it and to make it happen? You see, nobody can do this work for you. That's the interesting is many people are hoping that they will stumble on prosperity, that suddenly dreams will come true. The only people who stumble on success and prosperity are the people who create it and work for it. You see, prosperity are the manifestation of God's blessings. Prosperity is the physical manifestation of God's blessing. But here's the key. If you keep abusing God's spiritual laws, you are blessed, but will you see it? Because manifestation in the physical realm follows laws. They follow specific, your action, your belief system, right? Your thoughts, your emotions matter to your success, matter to prosperity. All things are possible to them that believe. But what if you don't believe? What if God presents the promised land to you and you choose not to believe in it, and you choose not to fight for it, and you choose not to work for it, and you choose not to invest in it, and you choose not to move forward? What happens? People move backward. People who do not move forward with faith, they move backward. The children of Israel, you can see it. They did not believe, right? They didn't fight. They doubted. They cried. God doesn't work with that. Right? God doesn't work with your doubt. He doesn't work with your negative belief system. There's nothing he can do when you don't believe. You hinder the move of God in your own life. Unlocking your power to prosper is listening, trusting, believing, taking action, building momentum, and saying to yourself, it's a commitment that you would not stop pursuing and believing until you see the promises God has for you. You have to be determined. right? Because without willpower, without determination, people give up. People lose confidence, right? People lose inspiration, people lose motivation, and they turn back, right? Because you actually have to overcome obstacles. That's the other thing. Many people are not prepared for the challenges that are promises of growth. You have to grow to actually claim everything that belongs to you. Unlocking your prosper is sitting with ourselves. It's being honest with ourselves. Your relationship with the truth. Okay? Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with the truth of God's word, and you have to break your relationship with lies. Okay? Unlocking your power to prosper, you actually have to denounce lies. You have to break your relationship with lies and then embrace truth. You have to be truth seeker. You have to become a truth seeker. Honesty, transparency is the key. You see, the pruning hand of Jesus will cut off all limiting beliefs. Okay? All of the reasons why you're not pursuing the promises God has for you, those are the lies you must get rid of. You have to break up. You have to break up with lies. You have to tell them, thank you so much. I'm no longer interested in that relationship. Everything that tells you you cannot, you will not, anything that tells you you're too small, anything that tells you you don't have this, you don't have that, you have to break up with them. Because even Bible talks about friendship with the world. There's a message that is everywhere, and many people have picked this up. You see, the message that says it's the government, the message that says it is them, the message that says the problem is everybody else but you. That's a lie. The only problem you have is you. Because you are the one to partner with Jesus. But who are you partnering with right now? What message are you, who are you partnering? What are you listening to right now? Every single day. What messages are you hearing? Which one are you believing? Which one are you responding to? Because that's the problem. If you fix that, you fix everything else. If you stop listening to the negatives, if you stop listening to the lies, if you stop listening to things that confuses people, if you stop listening, and whether externally and particularly internally, if you stop calling them what they are, lies, right? Because Jesus said all things are possible to them that believe. So any voice that says things are not possible, is that true? But if you say it's true, then it becomes true in your life. Those are the partnerships you have to break out. You have to actually start partnering with faith. Because only those who believe move forward. It's the future you believe in that you invest in. It's the future that you desire, that you long for, that you yearn for. That's the one you're going to invest in. If I tell you, what do you want for dinner? Right? The food that you want to eat, that's the one you will work for. That's the one you're going to cook. So why are you cooking a meal you don't want? Why are you busy creating a life that's not for you? Why are you so invested in lies? Limitations. God is calling you higher, to more, to greater, to success, and you will start saying the story, oh, they will not promote you, oh, you cannot start a business. Oh, you know all those things. Why are you partnering with the lower dimension? Why are you partnering with low energy giving thoughts and ideas that will not move you forward, ideas that will not lead to progress, ideas that will give you nothing? It has nothing to offer. It has nothing great to offer you. Why are you making that? Why are you creating room in your heart for those type of messages? Why have you made room for thoughts that will not move you forward, thoughts that limit you, thoughts that hold you bound. Why? Why? Why are you believing lies? Unlocking your power to prosper requires us to confront the truth, because the truth will set us free, to set you free. The truth will set us free, and lies keep people bound. So if you want to be free to pursue prosperity, that's what this program is about. Let me invite, okay, let me see if there are questions. Let's let's see if this would, let me try this again. Come up, Isabel said, come up. Let's see what's going on. What are your plans this year? Because this is another year, another 12 months. Prosperity is in the year. Prosperity is in your days. Prosperity is every day. What you do every day, what you do in every day, every moment, what you do in time. That's what leads to prosperity. The manifestation of God's promises. Listen, those of us that are Christians, you've been hearing about blessings, 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 right? If you want to see them, if you want to experience them, if you want to eat the fruits of those blessings, you will walk. That's what many people don't, is it that they don't understand, or they've not been taught, or there's no consciousness about this truth? It feels to me like this ought to be a no-brainer. Like, this ought to be, if you're a parent, this is what you need. I would expect that you're teaching your kids right now, that you're telling them work hard, this, right? That you are speaking this type of message to your children, right? That you are directing them, that you are leading them right, that you are telling them how life works, not how they think life ought to work, but you're actually guiding them into prosperity. Now, part of the shift, part of the transformation, part of the elevation is for you to understand your definition of prosperity. Okay? You have to redefine prosperity for you, because maybe the reason many people don't know there is more is because they think what they currently have is all that they can have. Right? Because if you feel like you've achieved everything that was presented to you as prosperity, then you're missing abundance, the abundant side of prosperity. So the question is, do you feel abundant right now? Do you feel a sense of freedom right now? Do you feel powerful, influential? Do you feel like you have everything you want in life? Do you feel like you can create anything you want? Do you feel like in your relationships, you are joyful, you are happy, you are content? So maybe part of it is establishing what prosperity means or looks like for you. And it will be different for everybody, right? What vision do you have? Right? Because it's about transformation. When you have a new vision, it will lead you to transformation. Because old vision belongs to your past. New visions belong to your future. Again, old vision belongs to your past. New vision belongs to your future. So for example, your vision before maybe, I want to go to school, I want to get a degree. Okay, you go to school, you get a degree. Check, passed. Right? You've achieved what you set out to achieve. Congratulations. Old vision belongs to your past. Beyond that old vision, is there a new vision? Oh, I want to get a job. Okay, you set out, you do everything you need to do, you apply for the job, you get the job, check. old vision. It becomes old vision. Now you have the job. Then some people say, okay, I need a better job. Okay, good. Here's the key. The world, life responds to your visions. You can wake up today and say, I want another job. I want this, I want that. But here's the key. The moment you're casting a new vision, be ready to transform. Because your vision, new visions do not meet you, right? New wine doesn't belong to old wine skin. The moment you have a vision, new vision, you must be ready to transform. Because the moment you want higher, a new job, promotion, better than what you're doing right now, it means you must transform to that next level. Right? You want to be a mom, you have to transform. You want to be a wife, you have to transform. You want to be a boss, you have to transform. The moment you choose a new higher identity for yourself, you have to change. So change is important to prosperity. Very, very, very important. When you don't change, you will continue to enjoy everything you've done in the past. So something new must emerge within you. You must unlock something new within you to operate at your next dimensions. Unlocking the power to prosper requires us to sit with ourselves, to be honest with ourselves, to be truthful, to challenge ourselves. What needs to change? What must I change today? What must I change today? What was I doing before that's not going to work in the future? Let's say you want to lose weight, you have to change. You want a new job, you have to change. You want promotion, you have to change. So the question is, what are you going to change? What needs to change? What are you going to change? When are you going to start changing it? How are you going to change it? It's different for everybody. Unlocking growth requires pruning, right? If you have a plant, right? Jesus said, you are the vine, or I'm the vine, you are the branches, right? He also said he will prune. There are dead branches, there are dead leaves that are still sucking your energy. You need to sit down and trim it. It could be relationships, it could be time wasting engagement, it could be somewhere you're going you ought not to go, right? People you give your time to, things you do that you ought not to be doing, what you ought to be doing you're not doing, the places you ought to be that you don't go. You know, you want to be a business owner. When it comes to business function training programs, you don't want to train, yet you're going to employee mindset spaces, people who don't have the same responsibility as vision as you, where they are laughing and wasting their time. You ought not to be found there. Whenever you look around you, if where you're going, everybody in that space, they're not going where you're going, this is where you need to be, right? Decoupling, removing yourself from spaces. Removing yourself from spaces, not going where you're going, because they are wasting your time. You could have spent last year in rooms and conversations of where people are just wasting time. Guess what? People who don't have new visions waste time. They waste time. They're not going anywhere. But if you are going somewhere, you better join the crew. Going where you're going, you will arrive there faster. People are spending all their time on social media. Who told you everybody on social media is going where you're going? You see, decisions that has to be made, new decisions has to be made in terms of where you're spending your time, energy, and resources. You also have to find time. The things you're working on, are they improving your life? Are they helping you get to the next dimension? Unlocking the power to prosper requires us to invest in the future we want to see. I always say the dreams you're going to enjoy are the ones you invested in. The dreams you want to see are the ones you want to invest in. Greetings, Happy New Year.
Hi, Coach.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
What's new?
Oh, oh, yeah. This year I'm gonna prioritize going more for experts. Towards last year, December. No, I didn't say November. To December. I was able to. I was able. We were able to. This one is like a group thing. We were able to hire like an expert, a professional, like a legal consultant for the particular issue that I told you about. And we were able to get results under 3 weeks compared to 4 years.
Okay, wait. Yeah. You went 4 years trying to do it by yourself?
Yes.
And then
doing it through,
people who don't have the expertise. And then when you decided to go
experience,
so you now
we're able to invite a lawyer, a legal practitioner,
and he got the answer in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. So I was like, you know what? I'm down with doing things alone. It's gonna cost a lot, but we're just gonna invest in experts to just get things.
It doesn't cost. So here's the thing: it doesn't actually cost a lot. It's a mindset. Okay.
That's true. The wasted years.
It's more expensive.
It's more the ethic.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because when we talk about unlocking the power to prosper, the mindset of time is something very, very important. Successful people use money to save time. Unsuccessful people use time to save money. I'm going to break that down. Whenever you find yourself protecting your money but wasting your time, it's a poverty mentality. You can make more money, you can make more time. So which one is more valuable, your time or your money? It's a mindset. It's a way of thinking. Poor people think that they need to be that their money is more important than their time. So instead of giving money away to save time, they will give time away to save money. If people will just understand this one thing this year, they will change their life. Money cannot make time, but you use time to make money. You see time, excuse me. You see this time we're talking about, it's not yours. It's God's contribution into your life. So you don't control it, but you manage it. Our job is to manage time. Right? You see this time, you can't create a second, you can't create a minute, you can't increase it, you can't stop it, you can't tell, oh, slow down. You can't tell the moon, stars to stop moving. Because sunrise, sundown, you don't control when the sun goes up, right? When you see the sun, you don't control time. So time controls you. It will tell you when to wake up. Time controls you. It will tell you it's daytime, it's nighttime. Now, the question is, that time, what are you going to do with that time? And part of it is pursuing opportunities in time. Prosperity comes out of opportunities that God presents to you. Prosperity are opportunities. God doesn't force it on anybody. So you'll be seeing opportunities every single day. Every day opportunities are coming. Opportunities. Okay? But people may not see them. So when opportunities show up, opportunities for you to sow, opportunities for you to reap, opportunities for you to water, opportunity for you to pour fertilizer, amplify. There are opportunities that will call for you to make an investment. You know, there are 3 money relationships. You must learn how to manage it. You must learn how to attract it. You must learn how to invest it. When any of those things show up, excuse me, what you think about those opportunities is important. It's about seizing opportunities, to claim those opportunities. Oftentimes, you may need to let go of certain things. That's where that decision point comes in. And so when people don't want to let go of the old to claim the new, they'll start telling different stories. Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, it's too this. Oh, this, right? That, and the saddest thing is most of that mindset keeps people from opportunities, keeps people from sowing, keeps people from reaping, keeps people from nurturing relationships, keep people from showing up. Everything people need to do that they ought to be prospering, there is a mindset that captures people and cages them from prosperity. Because prosperity is tied to the decisions you make that you use to align to God's promises. If you abuse God's promises, right, or spiritual laws, you don't sow, you want to reap. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So if a mindset, let me give you an example for Christians. Whenever I hear people talk about tithes offering, even like there are principles that occur in business that they occur also in churches. Let's break it down. If we want to hear the truth, remember I said your relationship with the truth, our relationship with the truth, we must be ready to be challenged to change. You see, this law of sowing and reaping, business entrepreneurs, they practice spiritual laws. Listen, spiritual laws is what is packaged into the world of business. Many people don't understand this. Entrepreneurship and business, listen, it's about spiritual laws. You will serve people, you will invest, you will practice a generosity, you will give, you will sow. Listen, spiritual principles and laws is how a business grows, is how businesses grow. So let's even come to the church. Imagine if somebody who claims to be a Christian and is abusing this same spiritual law. Because there are 4 dimensions we must grow to be prosperous. Spiritually, like Bible says, I wish above things, right? As your spirit is, as your soul is prospering, your body, like prosperity is not just manifesting physically. Your spirit must prosper. Faith, you must prosper. Your mind must prosper. Your heart must prosper. And then the physical manifestation is what we see physically. So let's say when it comes to spiritual prosperity, right? That your spirit is alive, you have hope. Because depression is lack of prosperity of a spirit man, the spirit of man. When somebody loses hope, cannot see anything anymore, listen, they can be living in a physical mansion, but their spirit is dying. Something has happened at the soul dimension. So it's not just about money, wealth, physical manifestation. Prosperity is 4 dimensions. Your spirit needs to prosper. You must have hope, right? You must believe you belong. Something must be feeding your spirit. God must, right? Your connection with the divine, your divine side is part of prosperity. What does it profit a man if he gains this whole world and loses his soul? Jesus is trying to tell you what's happening within you is important. It creates the outer world. If people are pursuing only external prosperity, okay, let's say that this whole world, you are Jeff Bezos, you win everything. But in your heart, you see what happens. Marriages crumble, children, this. You can see it. God is saying, don't lose your soul pursuing external validation, because your soul is more valuable. This old head, right, is not as valuable as your own soul. So let's come back to the church as example. Someone that says they will not pay, for example, tithes and offering, that person is scary to me, because they are abusing fundamental spiritual laws that whether you are in business, okay, imagine if you go to an employer and the employer says, I'm not going to pay you. What are you going to do? And you are laboring every day. You are laboring every day. You are praying for your employer. You are doing all you're supposed to do for your employer. And the employer wakes up and says they don't hold you tithes and offering. You are bringing your life first in the physical realm to serve somebody. You're a business owner serving somebody, and the person refuses to pay you, says they don't owe you anything. What do you call that person? So somebody that goes to a church every single day or every week and is enjoying the benefits of other people's labor and has to give and decides not to give, it's a dangerous thing. Do you think that person will now prosper in their own endeavors? Do you think the person with that mindset will start a business and that business will prosper? What you sow, you will reap. When that person starts a business, who will pay that person? Who will reward that person? Who? So when people who abuse spiritual law in one area, one dimension, they don't know that it's going to wait for them. It's going to wait for them. You now say they didn't promote you on the job. Who will promote you when your mindset doesn't sow, is not generous? The higher levels required people who practice higher dimensions, law, right? The higher levels of success, leadership, right? Those who move into higher levels of dimension in business, any form of success, they are reserved. Those positions are reserved for people who honor God's laws, whether they are Christians or not, whether they know it or not. There are some families, there's some culture who teach these laws to their children. And so their children benefit all the rules of prosperity simply because they follow those laws. So life, the hierarchy in life of prosperity, there are positions. That's why you see God will say, I've rejected this person, I'm elevating this person. Why? Because there are things put in motion that when you obey God's law, you'll be elevated. You don't even have to do anything. People are always looking for generous, hardworking people. So what it means is, if you position yourself, you practice those principles, you need to know people want to hire you. People want to work with you. People, right? People are looking. They are not looking for lazy people. So even naturally, we all are looking for good people. Mr. Boss said, aren't you looking for good people to come and work with? Right? It's a law. Yes. It's a law. We all collectively, we are looking for certain types of people. And we don't want certain types of people. And so the decision is, what type of person do you want to be? What type of person are you? Would you choose you? Would God choose you? Would other people choose you for prosperity? Whenever there are opportunities for promotion, ascension, leadership, right, wealth, are you the type of person people are looking for? In fact, are you the type of person you are looking for? Right? Have you become the type of person you want around yourself? Because I always say, this assignment starts with you. You are the first victim or victor of your mindset. You are the first victim or victor of the way you think. The first thing is, how do you rescue yourself out of limited beliefs, what I call bad behavior, bad thinking patterns, unsuccessful ways of approaching life? And our relationship with time matters. Our relationship with money matters. Our relationship with people matter. In fact, that is one of the wealths. In fact, it is the only wealth. Your relation with people. Let's I'll wrap this up there for today. Your relationship. How you talk to people, how you relate with people, how people feel around you, what they think about you will determine if they will give you their best. You see, opportunities are in the hands of people. Money are in the hands of people. Promotion are in the hands of people. Grants, awards, sponsorship, mentorships, everything that you're looking for is in somebody's hands. The knowledge you need, the capacity you need is in somebody's hands. How they open their hands towards you to give you what they have, to promote you. The people who will make decisions to buy from you and I, to invest in you and I, to promote you and I, to invite you and I. It's people. It's people. That's wealth. Your people wealth. Right? There are people ahead of you, people on your level, people below you, people beyond you. What's your relationship with them? What do they think about you? Your peers, those ahead of you. Because it's a proud, arrogant person who is not conscious that they have people bigger than them, people their peers, people who they can serve. There are people who can serve you, there are people you can serve. There are people who can partner with you, there are people who can, right, sponsor you. There are people who can mentor, there are people who can take you to your next level. You see, when we talk about all this next level, your next level is a relationship away. It's a customer away. It's a client away. It's an investor away. It's a sponsor away. It's a coach away. Right? Right? I've talked about your next level is a person away. So if you don't move closer to the right relationships, if you're somebody that you are not nice, you don't talk nice, your aura, your energy is repelling, listen, again, your relationship with the truth. How do you make people feel? How do people feel around you? Can they stay around you? Do you make them feel good, bad, whatever that is? Listen, that is a determinant whether you are attracting wealth or repelling it. Hear me well. That's why in spiritual terms, that's what's called favor. If I use biblical terms, the word favor is if people want to bless you. If people want to work with you. If you are favored with man, you're favored with God, you'll be favored with man. Trust me. Part of prosperity is favor. And favor, hear me, it's an anointing and grace upon a man or a woman that lives life well. You see, David was already living a type of life before he was anointed to be king. God doesn't put his anointing on bad behavior. He removes it. Listen, Saul's bad behavior, God will just say, with this behavior, you can't continue enjoying my blessings. When David, the same David that was anointed, listen, he did something. His action abused the grace and anointing. Jesus called him, and God called him out so fast, right? With a prophet. He was building it up, right? Those things were going to lead to his destruction. It's the grace of God that sent a prophet to him. Many people today, they're already on a path to destruction. Their choices, their actions, it's already the end. It's right. It says there's a way that seems right to a man. The end is destruction. Some people's choices, action, words already, because of laws kicking. It's only God's grace that will intercept them and say, it's love that will say, okay, right? Because if you see somebody going off this cliff, we're supposed to scream. That's not when you whisper. You're supposed to scream and say, let them be rescued off that cliff. Some people are heading anyway. Oh, tithes, right? Poverty, right? Whether it's poverty of some form of, it shows up somewhere. Abusing these laws are not acceptable by God. So even a king, Saul, that started abusing, his behavior, thoughts, and action was a misrepresentation of God's expectation for his life. There are consequences. There are consequences. And so the prophets that hear God didn't even tell Saul himself. But the prophets that are hearing, God said, you see, I rejected that guy. I can't deal with that way of thinking, that way of believing, and somebody who behaves like that guy. I found somebody else. Who I'm going to put my favor on. He has found favor with me. Your thoughts, words, and action can attract favor or repel it. Spiritual laws for prosperity. And so when people don't understand that you are a factor to attracting grace in your life, all things with men, all the beautiful things men can bless your life with. Trust me, if you're somebody that insults people, you are arrogant, you're proud, you think you're the best thing, you can't talk to people, you are like this, who wants to deal with that? Anybody bringing blessing will look at you, they take one look at you and say, oh, sorry, God must have said, like, so our human to human interaction brings favor. And once you have favor comes with prosperity, because men will bless you. Men will be attracted to work with you. And so when people don't take care of that fundamental, you don't work on you don't do any of this internal work. You may be bad breath. I always say you need to brush your teeth, right? Because germs is that many people are stinking, right? Because of all these beliefs and toxicity they carry in their heart. Oh, people are this, people are that. Oh, it's the government. For me personally, it's one of those reasons I don't connect people. I don't introduce people. You know why? I've been in places on social media. People don't know who I am. They don't know who I have contacts to. They don't understand that one introduction I make for someone will change that person's course of prosperity. People don't know. So I go into rooms, I go into spaces, I sit and I listen to people, and I'm telling you, the things I hear, the way they speak is toxic. And I am like, there's no way you can help these people. If they don't clean up, am I going to introduce this person to any? It's not working. And so many people want to bless you, but when they see you, will they bless you? I'll stop that now. Maybe I'll do another. Let me just stop it there, because I've already said a lot. But these are the practical things to say. The way you behave, the way you speak, the things that you do, how you do it is important. When God sees a man diligent, hardworking, right? Highly skilled, showing up, serving people, generous, it attracts the blessings. It attracts the blessing. You become a magnet for blessing of God and blessing of man. And when you do none of that, trust me, you can go to church every day. You can pray every day. Do you understand? You are blessed. Your blessing is in your spirit for you to manifest it, for you to see it in this physical realm. The physical realm must obey spiritual laws. You can pray every day. In fact, part of prayer is supposed to be you listening to what the Holy Spirit wants you to change about yourself. And so many people, they don't even listen. They don't listen to the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit will say, forgive. They don't want to forgive. You don't know you are carrying unfavorable energy. You'll be like, right? The whole world has offended you, right? And then a new person wants to come and bless you. But you're like, what? What do you want? Sorry. You become touchy. You become like a thorn. You be poking people. You grow thorns on your body when you are an unforgiving person. So anybody that comes close to you, ouch, you poke them. Your energy pokes them. So what would they do? Go away. You are unforgiving and you want a spouse. You are looking for a husband, or you are a man, you are looking for a spouse. New person comes close to you, you poke them, they run away. These are laws. Stop abusing this thing. Prosperity follows laws. Laws. And I pray, I wish this is something that, people who go to church, this is what they ought to be teaching us. Your responsibility. There is God's responsibility. God has done his part. Jesus has died for us. Holy Spirit is here to teach us. He's the counselor, right? He will teach us and lead us into all truth. Your own responsibility is where people are lacking right now, or lagging behind. People, guys, we have to learn. We have to go back to the drawing board. I don't know how we missed it. I don't know how we made it, where Christians made a wrong turn and started thinking that you can use one mouth to say I'm blessed, and then the other mouth misbehaving, saying things, talking and you want to enjoy the fullness of God's prosperity. God is cleaning house right now, and it starts with us. It starts with us. It starts with us. So I don't know who taught us false doctrine. It's a false doctrine. If somebody believes they can talk anyhow, do anything, they cannot be held responsible. They can come on to church, pray, and then on Monday talk anyhow about their boss, curse their nation, right? Abuse their elected official, abuse everybody around them, do all these crazy things, cause malice, argue, backbites, insult people anyhow, and you think prosperity is coming to that place. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Manifestation of God's blessings and promises means we must honor God's law. We have to. Mr. Bosede, I've said a lot. Is this sober reflection or what?
Yes, I'm driving.
Yes.
I'm driving, so that's fine.
Yeah. But it's
so deep though. It's really deep. You said something a long time ago that there is a level you will get to at the success level. Purity is expected. Like there's a level of purity that, because that level, that stage will prune you. You understand? Your intention will be known, and your intention will like kind of reveal you. So yeah, that's what you're saying, that if you're going higher, you have to You have to come correct. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. The higher you go, the most transparent you become. People like myself, we can smell all these things. Like it's the stink is real. It stinks. It's but the sad thing is that there is an unmentored generation that has no relationship with truth. So who will tell you your breath stinks?
Oh my God.
Who will tell you to shape up? In fact, there's a generation that resists all of these things I'm telling you. They actually resist. People who have the audacity to be resisting tithe and offering. Is it this message they will not resist? No, really, that's the thing. When you see the energy, the venom, the toxicity, the anger with which people talk about sensitive spiritual laws, that's when you know people are gone. You say that, they say, like, that's when you know people are lost. That's when you know, how do you recover all of this thing? If you can handle such sensitive spiritual conversation with such disgust, I fear for that person. Right? If God listens to our conversation, what will he do? What will he say? You see my point? This is matters, the most sensitive. I'm using that as an example. The house of God. How you manage that in your heart is a reflection of your soul, the content of your soul. So if somebody is speaking such vile things about the house of God, please, where do we start from? Because that is it shows people are lost. What will I say to such person? You are not investing in God's house. Is it your future you will invest in? Is it my program you will come and now be paying for? It's a psychology. Is it that person will say, what Toyin, you should give it for free. You see the same psychology that make people to feel they cannot pay tithe and offering is the same psychology where they will not use to sow seed into their future. Is the same root. The same root produces all kinds of fruits. The roots that produce that thinking, that behavior, that belief is corrupted. Until you fix the roots, the tree will be bitter. The fruits that come out of that life will always be bitter. That's how they handle everything else in their life. And you're now asking God to bless your children, bless your home, prosper you, prosper you, prosper you, prosper you. Abi, you're praying that prayer. And yet the fruits of your life, you are using it to curse and abuse laws that God has put in place. And God talks about the fear. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Right? People who don't fear God, please fear those people. Run away from them. People who don't fear God, who do not fear his principles, who don't even caution themselves to even, at a minimum, keep quiet. Don't talk about things you don't understand. Don't use your mouth. You say you will eat the fruit of your mouth. When you start opening your mouth and talking nonsense, you don't know the doors you're opening with your mouth. You see this universe that God created? It responds to words, thoughts, and action. It will give you what you call for. So if you use your mouth to abuse yourself, it's coming back. Boomerang. So at a minimum, be silent. Don't be found in the council of the ungodly. Right? Don't sit in the seat of sinners. Don't stand in the way of people rushing to do evil. It's a spiritual law. Because anyway, those people, they've already activated things that is going to land on them eventually. It's just a matter of time. You don't want to be found when those things land. You don't want to be found. So that's just an example of like what got us to this level where we think we can open our mouths and just talk anyhow on spiritual matters out of ignorance. And you think there are no consequences for that stuff. You see, Eve came by Adam and Eve did not know the law that was in motion. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. That's why spirituality goes hand in hand with pursuing knowledge. Spiritual people are knowledge seekers, because once you understand, once you get close to God, you will know that God doesn't play. It's people that are distant from God that can behave anyhow. The further away you are from God, you can be excused. You can do foolishness. You can talk anyhow, act anyhow. But I tell you, the closer you get to God, hey, you will check yourself. You will have to be every day. You have to be checking yourself. You have to be checking yourself. You cannot be lawless anymore. You cannot be misbehaving anymore. You cannot be thinking anyway anymore. You cannot be doing random crazy things anymore. The more you get close to God, it won't let you. It's unacceptable. It's not. So when I look at people, I'm like, hey, the closer we get to God, and maybe that's why people don't want to get close, because He will refine you. He will burn away all these senseless things that people do and say. The more you seek God, the more you find Him, the more you know Him. You see, the prophet, who was the prophet? He said, whoa, am I clean my lips? That's why you'll be praying different kinds of prayer. That's why you say, oh, help me. That's the person that's cried out to Jesus. Say, help my unbelief. When you realize it's your unbelief that is the problem, your doubts, your lack of confidence. When you realize that your own behavior is what is standing in between you and God and all He has for you, you will cry out. You say, God, help me. Please forgive me. Please have mercy. You pray different prayers. But when you don't know, when you are ignorant people do ignorant things. They talk anyhow, they say anything, they blame everybody, they say bad things about other people, and yet they want their own life to be better. It doesn't work that way. So the higher you go, you have to do so much more work on you. You have to leave everybody else. In fact, you won't even have time for everybody. Listen, you won't even have time to be figuring out what other people are doing. You will be too busy working on yourself. You will be so busy because every day you will say, there's so much work. There's so much work. But here's what happens. People who are not doing this work, they want to control everybody else, but they are lacking self-control. They think controlling everybody else will give them peace, rest, calm. No, it gives you stress, anxiety. The one thing you can actually control, you have power to control, is you. But people abandon what they can control and start trying to control what they cannot control, instead of leaving what you cannot control and controlling what you can control. The day you realize that your full-time job is self-mastery, self-discipline, self-leadership, self-control, self, right? And then you leave people, you just be looking, start watching movie. You should, but then you start listening. When you start listening to people, be like, that's not my business. You see, other people's misbehavior is not my business, unless unless you are under my leadership and authority. You see, when I'm coaching and guiding, I don't have to call you out. I see many, the best I can do is sessions like this and invite people who want to listen. It's not, listen, it's not my job to open people's mind, because many people have closed mind. They are living in an echo chamber. They're telling themselves stories. They've been held bound with those stories. But if you want to be set free, you will say, I want the truth. You listen, the moment you pray, God, show me. Show me where I'm failing. Show me what I need to do better. You start getting answers. But most people think they are already like the best thing since sliced bread. So nobody can teach them anything. Nobody can tell them the truth. So they will continue to carry from year to year to year to year to year to year to year. They're carrying misbehavior all over the place. And it stinks. It stinks. It stinks. So people will just sniff it and turn and not tell you. Most people will not tell you because they don't care about you. Only the people they love, they will call and mentor. People who don't love you do not mentor you. They don't tell you to improve. They don't tell you to go and get communication skills. Go and invest in speaking skills. They won't tell you that. They won't tell you what you are not doing. They'll just reject you and leave you alone. You know, those people who say, why didn't you promote me? They'll just say, sorry, somebody else has taken the job. They won't explain to you why. Because they don't hold you. It's only people that we love in a way we tell the truth to. And you have to demonstrate your love by receiving the truth as well. So God teaches his children, right? And God's children must be open to learning. So unlocking your power to prosper starts with your own decisions, your own thoughts, your own actions, and your commitment to honor and abide, right? And obey God's spiritual laws, and you saying you won't abuse them. Try that this year. Your life will change. Try that this year. Because we go to church, we are doing all these religious things, right? But we are living the real one, right? The commitment to obey what God says we should obey. We are abusing it. We are misbehaving. We are doing all kinds of random things. And yet, we say there are no consequences. The consequences are everywhere. So I'll wrap it up for today. Any thoughts, questions? I know it's an hour, the session today. Is this helping anyone? I know in the Entrepreneurs Academy, there's mindset work, technique, because business and entrepreneurship is a vehicle for prosperity, financial prosperity. However, many people are handling business with dirty hands, dirty thoughts, dirty hearts, right? You cannot be a business owner and not understand spiritual laws. The reason is because a business is service to man. Your business is to serve other people. Your business, right? Listen, if you don't like people, you don't honor people, you don't respect people, entrepreneurship is not for you. It's not for you. Let's just start there. Because many people are attempting to go into business and they are going with this same gimmicky mindset, untrustworthy, like this stuff. So that's why once we understand spiritual laws, Christians, believers ought to do business better. Because when you understand that this is a vehicle for prosperity, financial prosperity, and it's about serving people, you have to fix your people relationships to do business well. You really have to fix you, because the business is a reflection of who you are, what you believe in, how you think, right? The business does not grow if you do not grow. This is something I know for a fact. If your business is not growing, just start asking, I need to grow. You have to look into the mirror and say, what do I believe? What's holding me back? from taking this business from where it is to the next dimension. The business grows as you grow. Every business starts as a seed, and you have to nurture it. But I realize that if you come to it with the wrong thoughts, wrong actions, wrong acts, wrong belief system, that's why people give up. You thought it was overnight. You thought people would just pay you. You thought all these wrong things. Now the world has told you, no, we don't care. Whether you're the best in sliced bread, you actually have to have a conversation with us. You know, there's a session I'm preparing for my students, conversations that sell. You want to sell to people you don't want to talk to. You want to sell to people you don't want to develop relationships with. It doesn't work that way. Nobody buys anything just because you told them to buy anything. You have to serve them, connect with them. They have to trust you, right? They have to believe you. And if none of those things happen, they walk away and move on to the next person. So business actually follows deep spiritual laws. And so when people are coming to business and they've not fixed all this mindset stuff, they get very disappointed because they make a lot of assumptions that business is what it's not. Like the way people think about business, it's not what you think. You will invest. That's why, again, spiritual law is sowing and reaping. There's a spiritual law that surrounds sowing and reaping. People who don't understand the principle of generosity, right, reciprocity, cannot handle business. You have to be a generous person, a giving person, an understanding person. You have to learn how to listen to people to do sales well. You have to learn how to communicate transparently, honestly, so that people will believe you in your marketing. You have to be a person of integrity so that your brand, that's what branding is. Who are you? What do you do? What can you do for me? You have to be right standing. You have to have an image that people trust and believe and they want to associate with. Branding, marketing, sales, all these things, beneath them are spiritual laws that govern human to human connectivity, because the wealth you're looking for is in the hand of somebody. And you have to have favor for people to want to work with you. So if we don't fix this heart posture, if we don't fix this deep rooted human flaw, we are not getting to the heights of success that is possible. Reciprocity is part of the law. You see everybody everywhere. For example, Clubhouse, right? You see everything. They think, listen, I'll be again, your relationship with the truth is what will transform you. Be very, 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 very careful. If all you're doing is taking, takers do not move forward. Only givers are promoted. I'm telling you, don't just be taking. Find ways every day to serve somebody, to give some. It doesn't have to be the person you took from that you give to. I'm saying find outlets where you are making somebody else's life a little better. It's a spiritual law. It doesn't, if you're on Clubhouse and all you do 100% of the time is listen to other people, you may think you are growing, but you're not growing, because growth happens when you put what you know to work. I'm giving you secrets of success. You can read 1,000 books until you do something, until you practice it, so where are you going to practice? On who are you going to practice? That's the question. You're taking. You're not doing. And the principle of doing is service. You will do unto others what you want people to do to you. But here's the key. Many people are saying, bless me, give me content. Yet you are not blessing somebody else in your private life. That's why people are not moving forward. Those who are consumers alone of content and they are not producing, they're not giving to the world, they're not giving, you're not doing charity, you're not doing you're not volunteering, you are not inspiring the next generation, you are not doing anything for anybody else, you are just taking, and then you know what happens? Those are the people that are confused today. It leads to confusion, bloating. You keep eating, you are not, right? It leads to constipation. Many people are constipated simply because they are not using what God has already given them. Right? The little things, right? The gifts, talents, the parable of the talents, right? The little things you know how to do. Have you done it? Have you used it? Because in that using, that's where you are sowing your own seed. Right? People may sow seed in you. You have to sow your own seeds. You have to move forward and sow in the lives of other people. That's where you grow. That's where multiplication is. That's where harvest is. What you do for others. That's prosperity. Right? So that's one of the things we have to call ourselves out. You could go 1 year, 2 years doing all these things, but until you settle with yourself and you start practicing and doing things for other people and serving other people and finding ways to bless other people, people don't grow. They remain where they are, because progress has to do with multiplying your own seed, putting your own skills and talent and using it to bless people in the world. It's a spiritual principle. It says, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it. Do you see that? Be fruitful. Where is the seed you'll be fruitful with? You are the seed. You are the seed. And the life is in you. Right? So you have to bear fruits. And then your fruits would multiply. So when people have things and they close their hands, you have gifts, talents, you close your hand. If I didn't host this session today and I decided to just keep it to myself, what's happening? We're not multiplying. That's what it means. So find ways to multiply your gifts. And the way you do it is to let it go. There's a principle for multiplication. What you hold on to doesn't multiply. What you plow in the ground is what multiplies. You see, the seed you hold on to your hand, it doesn't activate. You come 10 years from now, it's still in the exact form. Seeds held in the hand doesn't grow. The one you put in the ground and you water, that's the one that multiplies. It's another spiritual principle for prosperity. So you are the gift you have in your hand, right? Giving it away is where multiplication is activated, because God knows it's a sacrifice and He blesses the sacrifice, right? He blesses that. But when people hold on, pay tithe, no. Pay offering, no. Volunteer, no. Give to charity, no. Serve, no. Volunteer, no. Hey, these are the opportunities for you to be blessed, and you're saying no to it. So where is the blessing going to show up from? People have locked their own doors of opportunity with this mindset. Generosity is knowing that you scatter your bread upon the waters. The one that will bless you, you don't know. So be generous. You don't know which seed will eat jackpots. You don't know who you're going to encourage that will introduce you to the governor. You don't know which one will promote you. I have tons of stories of this thing. I'm not going to say much. You see, the things I have done, people will just call me. United Nations, we have your a job I didn't apply for. They were like, it's you we want. Name your price. Other people are applying, but we are not even going to look at them. We decided it is you. I did not apply. I didn't know this opportunity existed. They sought me out. Right? And it's out of seeds I've sowed. Oh, we are going public. We want you to be on our board. I didn't know these things existed. Toyin, the government, do you know DEC? This. the US government called, said I should apply. And the Secretary of Commerce, right? These are seeds, but did these seeds just show up? No, it's out of the seed are sowed, knowingly or unknowingly. I just gave you 3 examples of appointments and opportunities, right, that I didn't know, financial blessings. But I sowed seed. I know how to sow seeds. I know how to sow. I'm sowing right now. I know how to bless people. I will bless you. I don't know which one will bless me back. I'm laughing because, I have a first degree in mathematics. When we talk about statistics, sales, when we talk about conversion, I'm laughing because in business, I told you business practices, spiritual laws. Do you know which one will convert? I'm not going to talk about business too much today. I'm laughing though, because I'm telling you, business follows spiritual laws. Not everybody you talk to will buy. How many people? What's the conversion? It's a spiritual law. You scatter your bread upon the waters. Which one will come to you? You don't know. Which one God will bless? You don't. But be generous. There are many people I talk to, they don't have the money to afford the programs. But if I hold back and say, oh, I won't serve them. But guess what? These same people, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, they will never forget the impact. When they are now bank manager, if they are ready 5 years, I'm still ready for your money. Your money today, your money tomorrow. Bring your money today, bring it tomorrow, bring it next year. I will collect. You're not closing shop. Right? So the people we invest in today, they are going to grow. We will even help them grow. Help them grow to a capacity where they now bring the harvest. But guess what? Some people will not invest simply because these are not my type of people. Be careful. You're speaking to the soul of somebody. And that person, right now, you don't know who they're going to be a year from today, 5 years from today. Even the things I'm talking about, the opportunities I had, it wasn't immediate. It was 5 years later, 3 years later, 2 years later that they manifested. I have been doing the same thing consistently for years. Suddenly, boom, harvest. Stocks, money, people giving me free money. Free money, free money. The money, somebody will sit down for a year working on a job. He just lands. I'm like, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Somebody is working a year. They're not getting free money. I call it free money because I just call it free money because what it requires is free money. I do more than that every day anyway. But somebody will work for a full year, mastering survival. They've not earned what I call free money. This free money, that's the prosperity I'm telling you. And this money is multiplying, compounding. This is wealth. This is the goodness of God. But those who don't know, understand, you must sow. Sowing and reaping follows spiritual laws. But guess what? Survival, you will work and it doesn't grow as fast as the principle of sowing and reaping. You see, when the harvest comes from the laws of sowing and reaping, it's an abundant multiplication. It's not linear. There's linear, exponential. When I talk about quantum leap is a radical transformation that all these mathematical equations doesn't explain the growth potential. It's beyond exponential growth. There are some things you will do this year that your life will change so drastically. Nobody can add it up. It won't add up. It doesn't add up. Listen, in 5 years, I'm enjoying quantum leap. Some people they're saying, oh, give me promotion. You're chasing promotion, survival. Keep that. That is additions. It's a mathematical equation, addition. There's another exponential growth, and I'm saying there's also quantum leap, that by this time, December, what is in your hand? You're holding $1 million. Does that add up? It doesn't add up. That's quantum leap. That's what happened to, was it Jacob? In the same year, he sold. The harvest is quantum. It's not addition. It's spiritual laws. Only spiritual laws can make the quantum happen, the quantum leap happen. It's not addition. If you are still busy adding and saying, oh, 3% salary increase, oh, 5% this, that's what you are calculating. That's not quantum. You can make that happen for yourself. You don't need the divine to step into your matter. But when you want that, you follow spiritual laws. Spiritual laws is the only way you achieve all of these things. And so those who abuse it will continue to survive. And those who live in the realm of prosperity is the one that gives us the power to prosper. Listen, when God gives you the power to prosper, he would also expect you to manage that power. And part of managing it is you will use that to serve whoever wants to be great, right? The power God has given you is the power to serve, the power to make other people prosper, the power to make other people's life better. That is what God cares about. So you have to care about what God cares about. And if you decide and tell God today that you are ready to use what you have to help amplify and make other people's life better, that's it. You become a friend of God. If you love what he loves and you use your time, energy, and resources to make his people's life better, God will start elevating you because he's looking for people like that. He will be putting you higher and higher and higher and higher and higher because he knows when his people rule, the nation will be at peace because they will protect his people. Law and justice will be in place. Prosperity will flow. There will be justice. And when wickedness rule, there will be chaos everywhere. So God is looking for people who honor him, right? Who will serve him and serve his people honorably. If you become that person, promotion is yours. Quantum leap promotion is yours. You will just be going to places it won't add up. People will just be seeing you. You are in private jets. It doesn't add up. But God knows how to take care of special people. He knows there are special things preserved. The other day I shared a session and I said there are laws put in place to protect the poor, the widows, the orphans. And those who serve that angle, there are also laws that rewards, right? There is law that rewards those who take care of the poor. That's why there's a lot of charity in America. Some people practice these things, right? There are laws that are in place to protect the poor, to protect orphans, to protect widows. But guess who are the people that would take care of them? There's now another law that rewards those people who take care of what God cares about. There is a reward and a blessing for those who take care of the things God wants people to take care of. Those two laws, they exist, right? Prosperity, right? Those who are generous, those who give, those who cover other people, those who serve other people. There's a law that will reward you. It will kick in. So that's why I said, be careful not to be only taking. Taking is a mindset that says you are poor, right? So you activate a law, the law of poverty, right? People who do not have to give, but they are always taking. So you don't turn yourself into a poor person. It's a poor mindset that takes and tells and says they don't have to give. Break that law on your life. Never tell yourself you don't have to give anymore. Don't do that to yourself. There is a law that activates poverty. You take, you don't give. There's a law that activates prosperity. You give. Don't mix those two things together. Don't allow the mindset don't even touch the mindset of poverty. Don't tell yourself you don't have, because God doesn't like that. You have. He will say what is in your hands. Don't ever, you see, the person with the one talent, he was saying he was burying that talent. The person it doesn't attract favor. That mindset doesn't attract favor. The mindset of the one that uses talents to serve is the one that attracts multiplication. The one that says, oh, this little one is nothing, you bury, that attracts disfavor. Don't be the person that is belittling the grace of God, the current grace of God on your life. Because if you don't appreciate what you have today, He's not giving you more. So there's also, right, gratitude, thanksgiving is a law. You have to give thanks with what you have. So there are mindset that people have adopted that is just perpetuating poverty. You're just using your mouth to say you did. No. The little you have, serve. The time you have, serve. Go and volunteer. You don't even have to use your money. You can use your time. The time God gave you, you can just say 1 hour. Like tomorrow, like I try, not every week, but I try to show up to my kids' school at least once every week or 2 times a month or something. Just go to the school, go to the class, go and teach. Is it 7 years? You just read books to them. Well, but 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sit down with the little children, smile with them, encourage them, and you go home. It didn't cost me a dime. Just gas money, time. Little children read to them. Like the other one, they were doing Shark Tank in their school. Hey, volunteer. We need volunteers. Okay. You go there, volunteer. It's not even more than 1 hour. You put a smile on your face, on their faces. You leave. Every week I do community service in my teaching business in my city, in my town. Just do that. But they'll say, show up to your children's school. You don't show up. Show up to your community. You don't show up. Volunteer here. You don't show up. Volunteer in church. You don't show up. And you say, not everything is even money. It's a principle. It's a principle. It's a principle. Give something. You have to learn how to give. You have to learn how to give. Prosperity requires it. Because if you don't give, who will give to you? This topic just gets deeper. And the more we go into it, it just gets deeper. It just gets deeper. I've tried to finish more than 20 minutes ago. But when we scratch it, it just gets deeper. We have to dig all these things out. These are ancient wisdom. Somebody clogged it up for certain cultures and communities. Who clogged this thing up? Who buried this ancient wisdom and turned people into poor people? This is the wealth. Dig it up. Put your hand out and say, I'm going to dig ancient. This wisdom has been working for generations since the earth was formed. Everything I'm saying is not new. The principle of sowing and reaping is not new. I did not create it. I didn't create it. It's because certain generation, they missed teaching it to their children. They didn't teach it to their children. They didn't teach it to their children. Somebody clogged up this welling up to eternal life. These spiritual principles, there was a generation, the generation of my late father, they practiced this. But some generations came out of them, they threw it into the garbage. They started claim it and fame it. Magic, abracadabra, witchcrafts, controlling. It's time for us to clean house. It's time to clean house. There are ancient wisdoms for prosperity. Dig it out. Dig it out. All this other stuff people have been teaching you in church. Like, this is foundational. But at least 2 generations try to dump it in the dump. They're like, what is give and receive? They don't want that. They want magic, instant, sharp, right? And now we've seen the harvests of those thinking. Maybe it is time for us to say, thank you so much. We've tried that. It did not work. Please, let's go back to God and ancient wisdoms. Sowing and reaping. Generosity. Kindness. You see? Love. Community. Honesty. Listen, where did we put all these things? Mr. Bosede, what happened to this in our culture? These simple things. Honesty, generosity, kindness. Where did kindness go? People have turned wicked and they say God should bless. I won't go too much into that. Kindness is the spiritual law. How kind can we be? What happened? Mr. Bosedi, parting words as I'm wrapping up. I'm trying to wrap up, but this just gets deeper and deeper. And I'm like, let me close this. But the more I talk about it, it's just the well is full. I have to go back and dig all these things. Honesty. These are simple things that lead to prosperity, but some people complicated it, and then they were like, oh, God bless you, claim it. And you say, claim. Clap 10 times. We clap, we clap, we clap. How far? What has those things done for us now? Mr. Abosede, what are those things? What have they done? They've impoverished people because we did not tell people hard work. You know, there was a generation that they'll be telling us hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work. The people that did not want to work hard, they silenced that voice. So if somebody tells you to work hard now, you don't want to hear hard work anymore. You don't want to hear it. It hasn't changed. I wish I could tell you. You see, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, they work harder than most people in the world. Some people say it's a lie. Okay. When he's telling you he's sleeping in the factory, you don't understand. When Jeff Bezos shows you how he started his company, how he used to wear kneecaps cover and kneel on the ground to be packing books, you didn't see him then, how he was working hard for Amazon. You didn't see the office he started with, how they work hard on a table. He was individually the one mailing those books. Hard work. And you tell me that's not backbreak. Their body developed aches and pain. And you tell me that's not hard work. Today you see Amazon, you're like Amazon. Even the Amazon of today is still hard work that is happening behind the scenes. I worked for the biggest company in the world, Walmart, right? Before, the largest, most complex supply chain infrastructure in the world. It takes 2 million plus people to pull it all together. Every single day, they are working hard. So anybody that doesn't want to work, hey, nothing happens. Prosperity requires hard work, and then God blesses your labor. Whatever your hands finds to do, do it well. You see, this message is not new. For somebody, it was buried. There was a generation that didn't want to hear the truth anymore. They shut it up. And generation rose around and beyond them. They didn't know the truth. And they were abusing the spiritual. It's time for us to dig it back up. Because life is built on these fundamentals. Let's go back to the fundamentals. I've not said anything new today. They've been there. But some people wanted to wipe it off. They wanted to build another reality. They wanted to build success on other principles. But what they got is failure. It's failure. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Because God will just sit down and watch you. And he will wait until you humble yourself. Right? God is in heaven watching us. I will say, when will you do what I want you to do? When? When you already called me. He said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear. God is ready to hear us. That's the only reason all these kind of messages can be coming out today. He's ready to hear us. He's ready to bless us. Trust me, for somebody like myself, prepared for years, I know for a fact God is ready to bless a generation financially. All aspects of for me to be here doing this work, it means God is ready to bless us because he will tell us to prepare. You see, when God wants to show up with abundance harvest, he's not going to give. Just because you are asking for it doesn't mean it's going to land. For it to land, you must prepare yourself. You must prepare your heart. You must prepare your home. You must prepare your mind. You must prepare everything to receive what God has for you. That's all this is about. Preparation to receive. That's what my school is about. Everything that is for you is for you. Nobody can take it, but you can deny yourself if you don't prepare. You don't learn. You don't discipline yourself. How do you receive? Which hands? Who will approach God? Man with clean hands, pure heart. Who will come before the throne of God, the mountain of God? Clean hands, pure hearts. Clean your hands, purify your hearts. Say, clean your heart. Remember, purify your heart, you double-minded person. Don't be this is not the season to be double-minded here and there. Will he do it? No. This is the season to ready your heart to receive all God has, right? This is the time for us to receive. Listen, station yourself very, very well. Make sure when God finds you, he finds you in a place of service. Let him find you busy, serving, doing good things, good work, blessing people with your mouth. At a minimum, with your heart, with your mouth, be blessing his people. Be blessing his people. Be blessed. Let him find you busy doing that. That's how we receive the harvest. Even if you have not worked, listen, if you bless the person that has worked, when they are enjoying their blessing, they might remember you and throw you a little bit. That's also how this works. You see, if you use your mouth to bless the person God is blessing, that blessing will reach your house. You don't know that there's another thought is like those who chain smoke. You know, bad things. If you stay with people who do bad things, it rubs off. I'm saying if you hang out where blessings, God is sharing blessings, you will enjoy a little bit of it, even if you've not worked for it. I've enjoyed a lot of that. When God is blessing somebody, he's moving up. He has labored 10 years. Because harvest season, we also need laborers. Those who are harvesting, they will employ more people. Oh, when your business explodes, you hire people. Whew. Mr. Bosede, parting words. I know you're driving. Are you still able to get to the mic? If not, I'm closing out. Anybody? Z, Feline. Okay, sorry. Let me invite you if you want to. Sorry, I didn't ask before. Thank you, everyone that joined. Yeah, you're welcome, Feline. Thanks. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been helpful. I really gained a lot. Yes, I am driving.
Yeah, I know you're driving, so no problem. Yes. God bless you. Be good. Be good. Be nice. Be good. Be nice. Okay. Don't let anybody drag you into drama. Avoid drama. This is the season. Don't be arguing with people. Don't be fighting anybody. Forgive all people. Be generous. Be kind. Appreciate all God is doing for you and what people have done for you. Find peace. Keep peace. Ready your heart. Don't be distracted. Don't get involved in anything that is not clean, that is not pure, that is not well-intentioned. Avoid those things. And set your mind towards service, towards generosity, towards giving. And then see what happens. God bless you all. I'm closing out now. Bye. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's close that out. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. I'm going to close out.